Hello. So when we were going about this topic, I thought long and hard about what to give a speech over. So I wanted to do something that was somewhat important to me and hopefully the rest of the class. So I kind of dove into that. I'm feeling very political these days, so I wanted to give a political talk to try to persuade people to understand my way of thinking. Um, So when I was looking for a political subject, I was thinking all kinds of things. So I also got to thinking about my age. I'm getting a little bit older, probably at least 10 years older than the rest of the class. And I have two young sons, so I was thinking about the future. So Social Security came up. And when I came to the conclusion that Social Security is going broke, and I think we need to have a Social Security reform. The United States is a compassionate country. We take care of each other. We have plenty of laws in place for our protection. Back in 1935, FDR signed into law the Social Security Act to ensure income for elderly during the Great Depression. It was a good move to do that in those days. The Great Depression, the elderly suffered the most. Social Security benefits are based on your age, how long you worked, and how much you paid in over the years. Social Security payroll taxes are an amount of 12.4% of a worker's income, with half of that is contributed by the employer. Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. There is no lockbox. Put aside any of the benefits. The benefits are paid by the workers who are currently paying into the system. So every time you get your paycheck, that money goes straight to the people who are on Social Security benefits. Remember that. But today, Social Security faces a wide range of problems. Millions of baby boomers have started to retire, and they're entitled to more benefits than the program can afford, according to the New York Times. In order to cover the shortfall, the younger workers are going to be expected to pay more in payroll taxes. Our payroll taxes for my generation, generations of me, are going to start going up on Social Security to take care of the millions and millions of baby boomers who are starting to retire and who have retired. According to the U.S. congressional study, Social Security faces a $5.4 trillion deficit over the next 75 years. That's equal to 1/3 of the U.S. economy today. 1/3 of the U.S. economy is what our Social Security will be facing in deficit. In 1935, when the Social Security Act was passed, the average life for a male was 58.1 years old. Today, that life expectancy is 77.6 years, according to medical research. When the Social Security Act was passed, the United States government did not expect for life expectancy to raise that drastically. Another issue they didn't realize was the baby boom. You gotta remember, in 1933 when that was signed, that was 8 years before World War II. So that's almost 11 years before the major baby boom happened, when millions of babies were born when their fathers came home from war. It's crazy stuff. So Social Security is being funded by it. So it's important to educate people why we need to reform Social Security. Lawmakers have far too long ignored the problems we face with Social Security. It has been subject to many debates, and at times a lot of people like to use Social Security to gain political capital of elderly Americans who are a huge voting base, I might add. Lawmakers need to reform Social Security and need to do it quickly. If they fail, we could slide into another Great Depression. Social Security would be bankrupt. With a bankrupt system, people who depend on the benefits will go under financially, causing a major financial crisis globally. There have been many studies on how we can reform Social Security. Most notably, and the one I would persuade y'all to do, will be privatizing the system. It works in Chile right now, and other Western nations are starting to go more toward a privatization. With Social Security being privatized, Americans will now have full control of their retirement. Americans will not be required to pay out of their check at 12.4% of their gross earnings. Reducing this tax wedge allows workers to invest more of their own money into the economy, causing a higher growth rate and giving the American worker more ownership in their retirement. Another reason to reform the system is out of fairness to all workers. Not everyone will live to the age that they can receive their entitlements. With a reform system, workers can retire when they feel it's necessary for them to do so, not when the government tells you to do so. So with the privatized system, there will be some kind of a shortfall. Some of the baby boomers now will probably lose any benefits that they can receive. But the younger generation my generation under me and my children's generation will all be taken care of. And that's what it's all about. We all think of ways to protect our future. Am I right? So, just like our parents and their parents before them. And the best way to ensure that the millions of Americans who are going to be working or joining the workforce and retiring, we need to be protected also. That wasn't thought of, and it hasn't been thought of for years with the American government. So it's time for the American government and the American people to find a way to reform Social Security, and the best way to reform Social Security is privatizing. That way you have a say in your own retirement, you can put your own money in there, and you don't have to worry about what the government tells you can and can't do. So hopefully I've given you all some good information on this subject, and hope you think long and hard about that. Thank you very much.